Now that Sharron Angle has won the Republican nomination for Senate to run against Harry Reid in Nevada, now the fun part. Now the fun part is watching the national Republican political establishment try to figure out what to do with Sharron Angle. Try to figure out how to balance that national Republican frothing, clamoring, heart-racing desire to beat Harry Reid with the fact that their candidate against Harry Reid thinks that fluoride in drinking water is a conspiracy and recently suggested that beer should be illegal. Sow's ear, can you become a silk purse? Can you? Let's start with your website. Here was Sharron Angle's website before she won the Republican primary this week. Here is Sharron Angle's new and improved, oh my God, she's actually the candidate now website after it was hijacked and scrubbed by the same online Republican PR company that brought us Massachusetts Senator Scott Brown and Virginia Governor Just Say No to Fornicators Bob McDonnell and Americans for Prosperity, the corporate-funded fake grassroots group that hosted those bus tours against health reform featuring speakers who compared health reform to the Holocaust and to the Khmer Rouge. The same online PR company that put a shine on those folks is also now putting quite a shine on Beware the Fluoride Senate candidate Sharron Angle. So in the place of Angle's old pre-spin-doctored website, which sort of looked like a MySpace page for a local John Birch Society softball team, there is now a pretty professional-looking splash page which got a fancy online donation feature with scrolling names of recent donors. On the old Sharron Angle website, she pledges that, quote, the well-being and safety of those in the theater of war should not and cannot be minimalized. On the new Sharron Angle website, it says the well-being and safety of those in the theater of war should not and cannot be minimized. Depending on your point of view, that's either Sharron Angle becoming more ready for prime time, or that's Sharron Angle totally selling out to the man. As this campaign goes on and the national Republican establishment has to decide whether they are really going to hitch their wagon to Sharron Angle, whether they're really going to consign every other Republican running in the country to saying whether or not they agree with Sharron Angle on issues like fluoridation and making beer illegal. The website and its cached copies and the screenshots that are available online via stuff like the Wayback Machine, that stuff that is evidence of what she used to admit to is going to be the place to stay apprised of just how much the man is going to be able to homogenize the pure, bracing, ideological hit of nitrous that is the political genius of Sharron Angle. When Sharron Angle pledges that the 67,000 pages of IRS tax code designed to reward friends and punish enemies must be abolished, who among the Republican establishment is going to say, yes, Sharron Angle, our standard bearer in Nevada, is someone who we agree with on this? We, too, believe the tax code has been designed as a giant conspiracy and must be abolished. Will that be you, John McCain, Mitch McConnell, John Ensign? How do you feel about your would-be home state Senate buddy? Do you also think the IRS is a giant conspiracy? When Sharron Angle pledges that Sharron Angle, I know it's awkward, but she really does always refer to herself in the third person online. When Sharron Angle pledges that Sharron Angle will work toward making a basket of commodities, metals, oil, etc., as a basis for maintaining the value of the U.S. currency, with Sharron Angle on record pledging that basket of commodities, will that have to be excised from her newer, shined-up website? Or will the John McCains and Mitch McConnells and John Ensigns and Michael Steeles of the world also have to pledge that Republicans agree with her, that the price of oil and gold and I don't know what counts as other metals, tin, zinc? The price of zinc ought to determine the value of the dollar, some cross maybe between the price of zinc and the price of a barrel of oil. That's going to determine the value of the dollar. Everybody on board with that? When Sharron Angle pontificates aloud about a shortage of ammunition in America and asks whether Americans are preparing to fight for their liberty in more Second Amendment kinds of ways, when she says if we don't win at the ballot box, what will be the next step? National Republican Senatorial Committee, do you agree? You in agreement with the candidate you're touting in Nevada who says that maybe a Second Amendment kind of fight is at hand if you don't get your way in the elections, and that's maybe why people are buying lots of ammo? Is everybody on board with that? The scrubbing of Sharron Angle's political history is already well underway. In this day and age, though, the effort to erase history and turn Sharron Angle into a mainstream conservative Sort of depends on everyone mass forgetting how to use the Google. And that could happen if we are all brainwashed because of the fluoride. Be careful.